trapped inside the school on a snow day. There's no way to get out. There's no food. I might have to eat my own leg. Oh, it's so cold, it's so cold. The library. Alone on a snow day, but the library is not full of snow. The library is full of books and happiness and warm, fuzzy feelings. And we have it all to ourselves. Trapped inside the library, and I don't care. The hills are alive with the sound of reading, which is generally pretty quiet, but that's okay. This is, without a doubt, the best place to be trapped inside a building for a snow day. Library, 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 library. I don't think I've ever been so happy to be trapped inside on a snow day. I'm trapped inside of the library! There's a coffee shop in a library. What? The Nest. So it is called the Nest. The glorious Nest. Full of good vibes, warm, sugary drinks, and dreams. Hot cocoa in the library on a snow day. Let's go find something to read. Let's go find something to read. We love to read. We will find something to read because that's what you do when you're trapped inside a library. Ow! The Book of Rules. Frosty the Snowman! I can't believe it's here! It's actually here! It's actually here! It's actually here! The Book of Rules! I'm so excited to read this book. Gotta get a little sip of my hot cocoa. Are you ready to read the book? I'm so excited that you decided to come along with me on this journey of being trapped in the library on this snowy day. I'm so glad that I got to see so many cool books and that I found this one. This is one of my favorite books. Probably because I wrote it. This book is called The Book of Rules. It is written by me, Brian Gehrlein, and illustrated by my good friend, Tom Knight. Before we start reading, I want to point some things out on the cover. I think sometimes it's important to look at a book's cover and to make a prediction and think, what might this book be about? What do I notice and observe about the cover? So on this book, I notice and observe that there is a purple monster that almost looks like he's bursting out of the book and that he's eating the book. There's pieces of paper flying everywhere and he's got his teeth coming out of the book and he looks like he's chomping down on it and ripping pages off of it. And I noticed that this book is called The Book of Rules. On the back, surprise back cover, it says, "Get your sillies out or you'll get eaten." What? Get your sillies out or you'll get eaten. So we're gonna get eaten if we don't get our sillies out? So the rules are about our sillies needing to be gotten out? What? So I predict, based on my observations of the front cover and the back cover, that this book has rules that we have to follow along with, and if we don't, we're going to get eaten. Probably by that guy. Are you ready to read the story? Are you sure? Are you ready to follow along with the rules and not get eaten? I sure hope nobody gets eaten. I would not be fun if somebody got eaten. Are you ready? Let's go. The Book of Rules by Brian Gehrlein, illustrated by Tom Knight. This book has rules. You must follow all the rules. If you break the rules, Dennis will eat you. Do you want to be gobbled by Dennis? No? Then you'll have to listen carefully. Come here, Dennis. Show them your teeth. Now your claws. Now that weird thing on your foot. Gross. Go wait in the margins. Thank you, Dennis. Rule number 1. You must sit on the floor. Go do it now. Yeah, go sit on the floor. Are you nice and cozy? That's not quite right. Find a new spot. Yes, that's better. Actually, one more time. Excellent job listening and following the rules. You clearly don't want to be eaten. Rule number 2. Sit up straight. Sit up tall. Sit crisscross applesauce. Applesaucier. Applesauciest. Nice. Now stay that way and you won't be Dennis food. Rule number 3. Follow the following rules. Raise your hands in the air. Touch your nose. Clap 3 times. Again, this time all together. Give it your very best. Solid clapping. We are very focused. Rule number 4, the cow rule. You are now required to moo like a cow. Moo like you mean it. Like a noisy barn. Utterly impressive. Dennis never did like beef. Rule number 5, do not smile. Do not laugh. Do not even think about smiling or laughing. There is nothing funny about being eaten. Oh, Dennis, they're breaking the rules! You really need to see a doctor about that foot. Kids, looks like you're safe. For now. Do not break the rules again. Rule number 6, make a fish face at someone. Fishier. Like the fishiest fish. Well done, little fish. We are swimmingly good listeners. Rule number 7, look at someone next to you. Tell them, I see you. I'm glad you're here. I do not want Dennis to eat you. Give them a high five. Now, fist bump. Fantastic. Dennis just might go hungry today. Rule number 8, give yourself a bear hug. A bigger bear hug. The biggest, barest hug in the history of bears. And release. Good. Very good. Perhaps too good to be eaten. Rule number 9, close your eyes. Don't worry, Dennis won't eat you. Keep your eyes closed. Feel your heartbeat. Feel the floor. listen to the room. Now breathe together. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3. Open your eyes. Perfect. Rule number 10, repeat after me. I am ready to listen. I am ready to learn. I am not Dennis food. Brilliant work. You made it. You all made it. Great job, everyone. You all listened well and followed the rules. No lunch for Dennis, unless we follow the secret rule. The rule we follow when Dennis has nobody to eat. Come out here, Dennis. Your whole body, not just your foot. Do you want to know the secret rule? You do? Rule number 11. Feed Dennis the book of rules. Woo! Thank you so much for listening to my story, my 3rd through 5th grade friends. It was a lot of fun to read with you, and I'm glad that you participated and followed the rules. And I'm really extra glad that nobody got eaten today on this snow day. It's very sad when somebody gets eaten when I'm reading that book. It usually doesn't happen. We usually have to feed him the book. All right, now that the book is done, it's time for you to get to be creative. So you're going to need something to write with: crayons, markers, colored pencils, a piece of paper, could be a pen or pencil. You are going to come up with your own rules. I had 10, well actually 11 if you count the secret rule. And what you're going to do is you're gonna come up with 5 rules of your own that people have to follow if you had a book of rules. So if you had a book of rules, what 5 rules would you include? Now, if you noticed in the book of rules, a lot of our rules were things that people could do, things that people listening to the story could do to play along with. So your rules don't have to be that way. They can be rules that matter to you. So what's important to you that people need to do? And these can be silly rules. These can be serious rules. Rules are important. Rules help us treat each other the way that we should be treated. They help us treat each other with kindness and respect. They keep everybody safe. Rules are important for all. You get to pick 5 rules of your own. Now, just like in the book of rules, we had a rule enforcer, somebody who was going to make sure people followed the rules. In my book, it was the silly monster named Dennis, who was going to eat us if we didn't follow the rules, which of course was just pretend. So, you're gonna need to think of a rule enforcer. Maybe it's a monster, or a person, a creature, something, and they need something to do in case people break the rules. So what will happen if people don't follow your rules? What will this rule enforcer do? They will need a name, and you need to draw them. So you get to create your own creature or monster or person that is the rule enforcer to make sure that your rules are being followed. I'm gonna come up with my own new rule enforcer. I just came up with a name, Fuzzbert. Fuzzbert is the name of my creature. And he kind of looks like a fuzzy red cotton ball. Very fuzzy. And Fuzzbert is my new rule enforcer. And one cool thing about Fuzzbert is that he has a lot of eyeballs on his fuzzy little creature body. So many eyeballs because he needs to be able to watch and see if people are following the rules. So he needs eyes everywhere. What will your rule enforcer look like? It can be as serious or as silly as you want to be. It is so fun to get to pretend and use our imaginations to create something new. So my rule enforcer is Fuzzbert. And Fuzzbert is a really cool creature monster. And he does not have legs. He gets around by rolling, because he's kind of like a meatball, I guess. Or like a fuzzy meatball covered with eyes. So he sees all. You can't get anything past Fuzzbert. He sees it all. And I need to make him a little hairy, so I'm going to color him on the inside. Okay, I think he's covered enough with hair. Yeah, this looks great. This looks fantastic. Okay, now I need to come up with my rules. So, what could my new rule be? I need 5 rules. Rule number 1, always have fun. Rule number 1 for Fuzzbert is always have fun. If you're not having fun, Fuzzbert will know. My pretend rule number 3, finish your milk. Nobody should dump milk down the drain. Milk is delicious and good for you. Unless you can't have milk, in which case, don't drink it. But if you can drink milk, you better finish that milk. Finish your milk. I guess it could be oat milk, almond milk. Those are delicious too. My 3rd pretend rule. On Thursdays, you must walk backwards. Thursday shall hence be known as Backwards Day, and if you don't walk backwards on Thursdays, Fuzzbert will know about it, and he will probably, oh, I forgot! You have to think about what your rule enforcement will do. What will your rule enforcer do if people don't follow your rules? So on Thursdays, if you don't walk backwards, Fuzzbert will roll up next to you and just give you the biggest monster fuzzy hug that you've ever gotten, and it just tickles you all over because he's got so much hair, and it just, you can't stand it. You have to follow the rules after that. You're just like, I can't take this amazing hug any second longer, and I promise I will walk backwards on Thursday. My 4th rule, let's pretend that I'm making up on the spot right now with you, is that kids must not say the word Glorkenspiel. That is now the forbidden word. Glorkenspiel, which I have just made up, is now a forbidden word. And if any kid ever said Glorkenspiel, you can bet that Fuzzbert would be rolling up on them so fast. Okay, my 5th pretend rule. Let's review. Okay, so I had always have fun, finish your milk. On Thursdays, you must walk backwards. Kids must not say the word Glorkenspiel. Now let's do a rule for adults, for grown-ups. Grown-ups must laugh when any kid says Glorkenspiel. Yikes. So, those last 2 rules kind of relate together. If kids say Glorkenspiel, which they should never say, the grown-up has to laugh. So, moms and dads, parent and guardians, if you hear Glorkenspiel, you have to laugh, or else Fuzzbert will come and give you a fuzzy hug. Okay, I've got my awesome monster. I've got my monster, and I've got 5 rules that you have to follow, or else Fuzzbert, with all his eyes, is going to come get you. I can't wait to see what you created. There's Fuzzbert. He doesn't even have a mouth. I forgot his mouth, but that's okay. I guess not every monster needs a mouth. So whatever you created is wonderful. You have an awesome imagination, and rules are important. I have just broken a crayon. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on this wonderful snow day. I'm glad that we got to spend some time together enjoying and making art and being silly and hearing a story and letting me visit with you for a few minutes this morning. I hope you stay warm and stay safe. Keep your imagination growing by being creative every day. If I can write a book, so can you. I can't wait to see what you created. I'm so glad nobody got eaten today. Keep following the rules. Dennis says goodbye. Bye. I should probably find my way out of this library.